All right, so on to our hip rollout. Again, pinky ball, tennis ball, any kind of ball, pair of balled up socks. We're going to start in our glute minimus. We're going to work our way back through the gluteus medius and finish with our delightful external rotators. So I'm going to show you where first, and then I'm going to stay on my ball the whole time. So as you look at your hip, you'll find your hip point, your ASIS, and then back side of your pelvis. You might feel a little lump where those dimples are in the back side. That's the PSIS. And your hip crest runs all the way from front to back. So if you find your front hip point and travel just a little further back, roughly in line with your greater trochanter, which is that thump that comes out of your leg bone on the side, and just above that is your glute minimus. And glute med runs over the top of that, so you'll be hitting two birds, one stone in that front point. Make sure that you're not rolling out down on your greater trochanter on the leg bone. Make sure you are in the hip. So our first spot will be here at the glute minimus, and then we'll start to move back into this more meaty gluteus medius. And there's quite a lot of glute med to explore from front to back. And then you'll also be hitting some glute max fibers as they cover glute min. So, or glute med rather. So lying on your side with your brick and your ball, finding glute minimus. I'm going to stick the ball roughly in the right place. And then I'm going to stack my pelvis on top of it. Now, as I roll down, similar to our shoulder rollout, if this is super crazy intense, then start a little rolled off of the ball. You can use your top leg to support, and then gradually get on top of it. Get it. And breathe. Breathing is the key. No breath, no release. Let the jaw relax and hang open. The jaw is relaxed, diaphragm will relax, pelvic floor relaxes. Big breath in. Big breath out. And maybe take a little rock from front to back if that's interesting. Or you can tuck and untuck the pelvis if that movement is interesting. It might just be interesting enough to just be here. In which case, just be here and breathe. And big breath in. Big breath out. And once more like that, inhale. And exhale. All right, so not so far from that spot. I'm just going to move my pelvis forward. So you can kind of see the ball under there. So it shifts back into my glute med. And again, I'm going to rock a little forward and a little back. And finding the spot that's the most interesting for me, I'm going to pause and take a little tuck and untuck of the pelvis. And big breath in. And big breath out. And one more here. Inhale. And exhale. All right, I'm going to find one more spot in my glute med. So like I said, it runs from front to back. So those posterior fibers a little further back in the hip. I'm going to use my top foot to help support. I'm going to rotate my pelvis open a little bit so I can get back in it. And again, a little rock from front to back. A little tuck and untuck of the pelvis. And big breath in. And big breath out. And inhale. And exhale. And one more here. Inhale. And exhale. All right, coming off of the ball. I'm going to come up to sit and take a figure 4 position, so ankle to knee. And then I'm going to take my delightful ball. I'm going to stick it under my tushy. And I'm just going to do a little roll around my sitting bone. So I'm just kind of exploring what's there. And then I'm going to look for something interesting on the lateral aspect of my butt cheek. So this outside portion, so finding that sitting bone and then going a little to the side. And for me, I need to go a little up too. And bingo, external rotators. So keeping this figure 4, noticing if you're tucking or if you're able to maintain neutral so that you can really find that width through the pelvis. And then from here, you can let your pelvis rotate a little bit, the legs drop to the side so that ball's really easing up and into your external rotators. Big breath in, big breath out. As always, if this is a 10 on a scale of 1 to 5, find something slightly less interesting. Your nervous system does not need to be tortured. If anything is nervy, so sparky down the leg or causing any numbness down the leg, find a slightly different spot with your ball. And take a big breath in and a big breath out. And one more here. Inhale and exhale. And then letting that go. Unwind and rinse and repeat on the other side. So just rewind your video, do it again, and then we will do our hip reset.